So my name is Tim Moyo. I'm a final year student at University College, Oxford, and I study Russian and Czech with Slovak. I chose the book by Saltykov-Shchedrin, the Golovlyov family. It's not one of the most famous Russian books, but I think it's absolutely hilarious. And it's a story of the decline of a family. Each character comes home to their dilapidated house and they all end up dying. This book is a perfect example of how the Russian satirists find comedy of some sort in quite dark experiences. I'd recommend this book to a potential Russian student because it is a comic introduction to Russian culture. When I read it in English before applying, I couldn't really read the Russian. It was really difficult. But now, after about 4 years, I'm far better prepared to read it in the original Russian as well, which will hopefully be even funnier. I chose Russian to start with when I was at school because I thought it was a challenge. I thought it was something totally different. I picked up Czech at the end of my school time. I wanted to discover more about the Slavic language family and start learning some more Slavic languages as well. You can do Russian from school. You can also start Russian from scratch if you want a new challenge, and that's called the Ab Initio course. All people who do Czech will start it from scratch and then get to a good standard by the end.
Вы были в России, когда вы были? Что вы там делали?
Я думаю, это как What I really love about the Slavonic languages in particular is their grammar systems. If you take Russian, for example, it's got very free word order. In English, we say, I love you, and you can't really change the word order very much. But in Russian, you could say, I, you love, and you, I love, and love you, I. Я вас люблю, люблю я вас я люблю. And it all has sort of different emphasis and different meanings and slight nuance here. And I think that's really fun. I had a choice between doing languages and music. I worked out that I could keep up playing music at the same time as taking more academic study. Languages offered me a sort of a wider opportunity to travel abroad and to use my languages in work in the future. And actually, I managed to bring my music and my languages together on my year abroad, where I got a job as a cocktail bar pianist in Prague, speaking Czech to clients and also playing the music, which I love. So I think they can always try to bring these things together. It's good. There's quite often a tension between work and play, especially in first year when I was getting to know how Oxford works. Reading is really important, the literature is really important. I try and do the reading before the term. Other people like to do the reading of the literature during term time and maybe do fewer extracurricular activities. It's different to what your personality is, I think. As far as contact hours are concerned for a language student, you have between 10 and 15 hours a week, and that includes tutorials and translations and lectures. The rest of the time, I think it's important to be getting on with writing your essays and doing your reading, and then also using some of that time as your own free time. I don't think you do need particularly special affinity with Russian culture to study Russian. What would be most important when you're applying is to have an interest, have an eagerness to learn something about Russian culture. To anyone who's thinking of applying for languages, I'd say go for it. That's the number one because it's great fun. I think the year abroad is probably one of the best things about being a language student. I chose to go to Prague and I got a job in a think tank, and I worked on the presidential elections, and I sort of met the candidates, and I organised some debates, and it was great fun because I did this in Czech, and my Czech was not even that good. One of the best things about the tutorial system and about languages is just the confidence that you can get from writing essays every week and discussing them with world experts. And at first it's quite intimidating, I was pretty terrified, but after 4 years you come out ready to discuss all sorts of different things with all sorts of different people. And I think it's the opportunity to develop yourself and your sort of self-assurance which is second to none at Oxford.